Are you ready to take control of your financial future, but don't know where to start? Budgeting doesn't have to feel restrictive or overwhelming. In fact, it's the key to creating clarity, building confidence, and empowering your journey towards financial freedom. Today, we're going to redefine budgeting as a tool to help you align your spending with your goals and values so that you can step boldly into the abundance that you deserve. Hello, and welcome to Rise to Your Money Power, where we have honest conversations to empower you around your relationship with money. I'm Pamela Plick, your host, and I'm on a mission to empower women to confidently build wealth from the inside out. I help purpose driven women to overcome feeling anxious, stuck, or overwhelmed related to their personal relationship with money so that they can feel confident, achieve peace of mind, financial freedom, and impact. And I do this through my signature programs and services, as well as events and community. Budgeting isn't just about tracking expenses. It's about designing a future that reflects your values and your goals. When you take time to create a future focused budget, you lay the groundwork for financial empowerment and abundance. By understanding your spending, prioritizing your savings, and aligning your financial choices with your values and your aspirations, you can step into a life of confidence and peace of mind. So let's explore 5 important actionable steps that you can take today to create a budget that works for your future. The first important step that you can take today to create a budget that works for your future is to understand your current financial picture. Before you can plan for the future, you need to know where you stand today. Take an honest look at your income, your expenses, as well as your savings. And this step is not about judgment, it's about awareness. Understanding your current financial picture helps you to identify patterns, pinpoint areas where you can cut back, and set realistic goals for the future. Now, I want to give you 3 tips in this area to help you to gain clarity and to help you to step into action. So the first tip is to track all income sources. This is a common mistake that we can sometimes make. You know, your income is the foundation of any financial plan, but many people only consider their primary paycheck without accounting for other revenue streams. Irregular savings, such as maybe any side hustles that you might have, rental income, or seasonal work, can significantly impact your budget if they're overlooked. Tracking all sources of income ensures that you have a full picture of the resources available to allocate towards your goals. In addition, understanding your income variability helps you to prepare for those months when earnings may be lower, allowing you to set aside extra funds during high earning periods. So one action step that you can take to begin to implement this tip is to spend 30 minutes gathering your financial documents, such as your pay stubs, your bank deposit records, as well as any invoices that you may have from if you have a primary business or from any side gigs that you might have. If your income fluctuates, then go ahead and just calculate the average monthly income over the past 6 months to account for any variability. The second tip is to categorize your expenses. Expenses often get overlooked until the end of the month when you wonder, where did all my money go? But categorizing your spending, it provides clarity on how much is going towards your essential expenses such as housing and utilities, and also non-essential spending like dining out and long-term priorities such as savings and any debt repayment. Seeing the patterns in your spending allows you to identify where you might be overspending and reallocate those funds to align with your goals. For instance, if you are spending $100 a month on unused subscriptions, you can cancel those subscriptions and redirect the money towards building your emergency fund. Now, one action step that you can take to begin to implement this tip is to use an app. Now, a spreadsheet is great, but a spreadsheet, you have to actually go in and update the spreadsheet. So if you use an app, it's automated. And all you have to do is go in and look at it. So use a budgeting app such as Mint or Quicken Online, or even YNAB. You need a budget to automate your expense tracking. And alternatively, you can also create, like I mentioned, create that spreadsheet and list all of the expenses from the past 3 months, and then categorize them by needs, wants, and savings. Then calculate the total percentage that's spent in each category. The percentage of your total spending that goes to needs, total spending goes to wants, and total spending that goes to savings, and identify areas where you can adjust. The last tip is to evaluate your net worth. Your net worth is the ultimate measure of your financial health. While tracking income, expenses focuses on the short term, evaluating your net worth shows the big picture of how well you're building wealth over time. Now, it also helps you to understand whether you're moving closer to or further away from your financial freedom. Also, your net worth calculation should include all assets, such as savings, investments, retirement accounts, and any physical assets that you might have, like your home, car, jewelry, or collectibles. And then subtract your liabilities, including any credit card debt, as well as loans and mortgages. Now, you want to regularly update your net worth. And what that allows you to do is, first of all, celebrate milestones. Remember how many times we talked about what we appreciate. So it's important to celebrate. Celebrate those milestones. Like, for example, if you're paying off a loan or you've increased your investment portfolio. So one action step that you can take to implement this tip is to create a simple net worth tracker. Now, if you're using an online app, usually they do have where you can create a net worth statement, or even in your online banking, they may have that tool as well. But you can simply create this in a spreadsheet, list all of your assets, such as your checking, savings accounts, retirement accounts, investments, property value, and your liabilities, your credit card debt, car loans, as well as mortgages. Then you just simply subtract the liabilities from the assets. So total each of those categories up, subtract the liabilities from the assets to determine your net worth. Then update this tracker every 3 months to note any trends, whether you're going in the right direction or if for some reason you're not going in the right direction, then you can easily go back to your budgeting tool to see where you got off track. By diving deeper into each of these steps, then you'll gain a comprehensive understanding of your financial situation. Now, this clarity is a powerful tool that will guide you towards making intentional decisions, creating a realistic budget, and ultimately achieving your financial goals. Now, the second important step that you can take today to create a budget that works for your future is to define your financial goals. What do you want your money to do for you? You want to think about that, whether it's buying a new home, saving for retirement, or taking that dream vacation. Maybe it's expanding your business, starting a business, or expanding your business. Whatever it might be, your goals are the foundation of your budget. Goals give your money purpose. When your spending aligns with your goals, you'll feel more motivated to stick to your plan, and the sacrifices that you make will feel worthwhile. Now, one action step that you can take to begin to define your financial goals is to write down 3 short-term and 3 long-term financial goals. Short-term is typically less than 1 or 2 years. Long-term is typically more than 7 to 10 years. Once you've identified the 3 short-term, 3 long-term goals, then you want to assign a dollar amount and a time frame for each goal. Now, the third important step that you can take today to create a budget that works for your future is to create a spending plan aligned with your values. A budget is not about deprivation. It's about making intentional choices. You want to focus on directing your money towards the things that matter most to you. When your spending reflects your values, you'll feel more satisfied with your financial decisions and less tempted to overspend on things that don't align with your priorities. And so, one action step that you can take to begin to create a spending plan that's aligned with your values is to categorize your spending and allocate your income to align with your top 3 priorities. I want to give you another tip for this action step as well, something to get you started. A lot of times, folks will say, well, I don't know how much should be allocated to the different areas in my budget. There's a 70-20-10 rule that is really a good place to start. No more than 70% of your income should be allocated to, or you want to strive for no more than 70% of your income to be allocated towards your essential living expenses. And essential living expenses are housing, food, transportation, and medical. So when you add up what you're spending in these categories, you want to strive at least to start with no more than 70%. 20%, no more than 20% should be allocated towards debt. And lastly, 10%, at least 10% of your budget should be allocated towards savings. Now, honestly, savings, if you're only allocating 10% towards savings, that's not going to get you where you want to be long term. But this is a good place to start and, to kind of measure where you are. And then as you are able to refine your budget and reallocate resources to get that savings, the debt portion allocation down as you begin to pay off debt if you have debt, and then increase that savings. So some good action tips or action steps to help you to begin creating a spending plan that aligns with your values. Now, the fourth important step that you can take today to create a budget that works for your future is to begin building an emergency fund for security. Unexpected expenses can derail even the best budget. Stuff happens, right? So having an emergency fund ensures that you're prepared for life surprises without sacrificing your long-term goals. Start small if you need to, because consistency is more important than size. Even saving a little each month can add up over time. One action step that you can take to begin to build your emergency fund, or if you already have one, to increase your emergency fund for security, is to open a savings account and set up an automatic transfer of maybe $50, $100 each month to go into your emergency fund. And then have a goal of where you want your emergency fund to be by the end of the month. And ideally, when you're looking at emergency funds or looking to build it, you want to accumulate at least 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. And essential, remember I talked about that a little bit earlier. Essential living expenses are housing, food, transportation, and medical. So whatever those add up to, multiply that times 3 or 6, and that's your starting goal for building your emergency fund. Now, the fifth important step that you can take today to begin to create a budget that works for your future is to monitor and adjust your budget regularly. A budget is not a one and done task. It's a living document. As your life changes, your circumstances change, your budget should also adapt to reflect new priorities and your new circumstances. So by regularly reviewing your budget, that ensures that it continually serves you and it helps you to stay on track towards your goals. So one action step that you can take to begin to implement this step is to make sure that you are monitoring and adjusting your budget regularly. And one way to do that is to schedule a monthly money check-in to review your budget and adjust as needed. That's a great item to put on your calendar, a great time block item. Because remember, if we don't have it on the calendar, most likely we're not going to do it. So time block, for on a monthly basis, a time that works for you to do your money check-in. Now, in conclusion, Budgeting for the future is about more than just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about creating a plan that empowers your financial journey, and helps you to achieve your dreams. By understanding your current financial situation, setting clear goals, and making intentional choices, you can build a future of abundance and financial confidence. So let's recap what we covered today. We talked about the 5 important actionable steps that you can take today to create a budget that works for your future. Number 1, understand your current financial picture. 2, define your financial goals. 3, create a spending plan aligned with your values. 4, build an emergency fund for security. And lastly, monitor and adjust your budget regularly. Now, what I'd love for you to do at this time is to reflect on your current relationship with money, as well as your current budget, your budgeting practices, and ask yourself these 3 questions to help you to gain clarity and to motivate yourself into action. Number 1, ask yourself, what financial habits are currently helping or hindering your progress. Number 2, how aligned are your current spending habits with your long-term goals? And number 3, what does financial abundance mean to you personally? Are you ready to take the first step towards financial empowerment and money mastery? If so, I'd love for you to join me for a powerful money power breakthrough call that will enable you to unlock the key to transforming your relationship with money. Together, we will uncover what may be holding you back from aligning your vision with your goals, and identify the next inspired step to pave the way to ultimate financial freedom, so that you can create the life that you desire and the impact that you want to make in the world. So you don't want to miss this opportunity to create a brighter future for yourself and your business. And to apply for your complimentary Money Power Breakthrough call, just go to PamelaPlick.com/thank you. That's PamelaPlick.com/thank you to access the link to schedule your call. Then once you've scheduled you booked your call, go ahead and check out my other tools and resources that will help you to start unlocking your financial freedom and setting yourself up for long-term success. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this final thought. A budget is not a limit. It's a blueprint for your financial dreams. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. And until next time, remember that you can rise to your money power. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.